Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, you know, it's highly interesting when it comes to us getting any type of justice in the United States, the greatest criminal empire the world has ever seen, based off of crimes against humanity done to the Aboriginal Negroes of America. And Aboriginal Negroes of America never ever got justice in the sense of what's been done to them under crimes against humanity from this empire to this day, thus making it the greatest criminal empire to ever exist, because it got away from it, or got away with its crimes against Aboriginal Negroes of America. How do we know? Because still to this day, our people ask for reparative justice for the crimes that have happened to our bloodline, and they yet still have gave us justice. They haven't gave us to this day, you know. And it's sad because it's to the point where now our own people is blaming ourselves for not getting justice by law. Law supposed to, whoever represents the law supposed to represent justice for crimes that is being done. Unlawful things being done, the law supposed to go out and correct those wrongs. And they haven't done that at all for the Aboriginal Negroes of America. It goes all the way back to being POWs, aka enslaved on our own land, where our people asked for reparations in the form of 40 acres and a mule that was owed to them. And back then, they didn't give it to them. They didn't give them justice back then. The next generations asked for reparations. They didn't give justice to them back then. The next generation asked for reparations. They didn't give them justice in the form of reparations back then. The next generation asked. As you can see, each generation that asks for justice from United States of America, each time they came up with excuses on why not to give justice for the crimes that they have committed. Not to mention, they have kept the resources. What is the resources that they kept? The wealth from the crimes that has been committed that made United States the empire that it is today. You wouldn't have the 13 families, 13 colonies, and any other wealthy colonizers in the United States if they didn't get it off the backs of crimes against humanity done to the Aboriginal Negroes of America. And in turn, being able to pass on the generational criminal wealth that has been passed down through generations to the colonizers and inheritors to have generational wealth that ain't never been brought to justice. But yet still, they're benefiting off of the crimes that has been committed against the Aboriginal Negroes of America. And all we ask is for justice. Y'all put us in a position of passing on perpetual poverty, generational poverty, based off of our people being attacked, brutalized, hated, and lynched and treated in ways that, no other human on earth supposed to be treated by another nation of people. And because of it, we sit here now today in ghetto slums and hoods based off of those attacks, based off of those different atrocities that have taken place here in the United States. The Holocaust, the massacres, the genocides, all those went on blind and deaf ears when it comes to justice for our people. And here it is now today, we watching a whole new nation of people come into the country unlawfully, not through the paperwork and the work that you have to do to come into the country, but coming in through the country unlawfully in a form of 11 million or more people, and they all getting an economic floor and getting finance to come to the country when the so-called citizens that was emancipated or proclamated under the system of injustice still haven't been given justice still to this day. And when we talk about justice, they act like they don't know what we're talking about. Oh, we gotta put out a task force to study reparations. Y'all didn't study reparations when y'all gave it to the PO, I say the slave holders, or AKA massas. They didn't study it. They just gave them reparations. They're not studying giving out money to Ukraine or Israel or Venezuela or the Mexicanos that's coming in. They didn't study none of this stuff. They just gave it out. They just passed bills. They didn't ask you to vote on it. Nothing. They just took the tax dollars and gave them an economic floor where they can buy housing, land, and all sorts of things. Stores, Spanish-owned stores are opening up and popping up everywhere. All this is based off of money allocated solely for them to have for their plight that only their nation of people can get. You and I can't get it, but we can fund it through our tax dollars, but we can't get it based off our tax dollars. This is the reality that we are under, sitting under the greatest criminal empire the world has ever seen in the former United States. And the sad thing is, all other nations know this, and they don't even want to see us get justice. And that's all we asking for, so we can help our communities bring back small black businesses, so that we can empower our people to be able to hire and feed our own people. And they don't want to see that happen from nowhere. And the key word is empowerment, self-empowerment, to be able to come up from under this economic oppression that we've been under for over 150 years, from what Dr. Claude Anderson says when it comes to us not moving economically in 150 years. But yet still, this is the challenge that we are faced every single day in the United States when it comes to us trying to get resources allocated solely for the purpose of helping black people, Aboriginal Negroes of America, solely. And they don't want to do that. And that tells you a lot about our plight when it comes to not being free, not being liberated, but still under oppression, still being systematically manipulated through their political power and their economic power over us, keeping us in this position of destruction, thus breeding self-destruction based off of seeing and living a destructive way of life every single day, based off of not having resources and adequate growth in our community when it comes to economics, in order to help our nation be in a better position that is in, to be able to take care of our children in a more better light, based off of having the resources to be able to pull ourselves away from all the abandoned buildings that we see all around our communities, all the abandoned stores that we see, because we don't have no stores that we're controlling ourselves in the sense of black-owned businesses and corner stores and so on. All these things breed the violence and the abandonment within yourself that we feel, that pushes that ugly eye towards each other, that we look upon each other in such evil manners based off of the frustration of not seeing ourselves in any empowered position in our own communities, to where now there ain't even black communities no more. They're minority communities, totally took from us, totally snatched from up under our feet, right before our eyes, with them still screaming black and brown, when only the brown community is getting the economic floor, and we're staying in ghetto slums and hood in the same position that we've been in for 150 years or more. This is the reality to it. It has nothing to do with us. We ain't the ones who control the resources. We ain't the ones who control the economic foundation of America. They do. The colonizers, those who black-faced us, they the ones who control the resources. They the one have the ability to move the pen and allow you to get grants. Move the pen and allow you to get bank loans, to open up small businesses in your community, buy housing, buy land. They the ones who can move the pen and make that happen, just as much as they move the pen to stop you from making that happen. This is where we at. Has nothing to do with you and I. We don't control it. They do. And because of it, this is why we sit where we sit. And for that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. For that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.